Welcome, Ashen Ones, to the second episode of my complete guide to Dark Souls 3. In this episode, we're going to be covering the High Wall of Lothric. To start things off, we're just going to go through these doors and head down to the bonfire. From the bonfire, we're going to head right and take the path that is basically a dead end, and grab the few items that are down this way. Start off by taking out that archer because he will be a pain in the ass if you don't. And then just jump down here and we'll take out these two dogs. As I said before in the previous episode, dogs are weak to fire. So if you do have a fire weapon or a pyromancy spell, then just use those on them to take them out real easily. Now for these large Hollow Knights, they're pretty simple to beat. They do have a long recovery time, so just let them do a swing like that and get behind them to backstab them to deal massive amounts of damage. And then just finish them up with a few light swings. Now we're going to head up to the top here and take out this archer. And while we're doing that, the little abomination guy to the side of him will sprout, and you basically want that to happen because when he is in that form and he dies, he will give you a Titanite shard and an Ember. And they are pretty weak to fire, but once you burn them, once they recover from the burn, it does take about 2-3 seconds for them to feel that burn effect again. Just be aware of that. So I'm just going to take out the rest of these enemies here and then head back down. Alright, so down here, there's actually a shortcut to the right down that path, and we're actually going to go down there and kill the other enemy and grab the soul packet that's down there. Now we're just going to head back up to the bonfire, and I don't think we rest because we didn't really use any Estus or lose any health, so we're just, you can if you want, but it's not really necessary if you didn't take any damage. This time we're just going to go down through the left side, taking out the enemies and progressing through the area. The only enemy in this area that you kind of want to worry about is the one with the lantern right here, because if he does finish screeching like that, it will cause others in this area to wake up and basically aggro on you. So you want to try and take him out before he finishes screaming like that. Alright, so we're going to go up the left here to take out the enemies up here as well, and to pick up 2 items. There was another one of those guys with the lantern. Just take him out really quick so he doesn't aggro all these guys. Some of these guys are a little bit stronger, may take 1 or 2 hits. Here, there's me basically whiffing. And then, so we're just going to go up these stairs here. Beware, there's 2 up here. One's going to just kind of jump out at the corner at you, and the other one is just sitting there waiting for you to pass him, so he'll wake up once you're trying to pick up the item and hit you from behind. Right there where I was looking at my inventory, I was just basically thinking of switching to the long sword because I do like the sword's speed and range compared to this hand axe, but because where it was a random drop from the enemy. I decided not to. That way anyone that's following this can keep up with me and use the same items as me. So there was some gold pine resin there. Good for later on when fighting some bosses. You just put that on and it will grant your weapon lightning style. So just come down here, kill these few enemies that are in here, and we'll head down the ladder. Now down the ladder here, there's another item. I believe it's another soul packet. And then once you get out here, we're just going to take out one enemy, which is this guy with the shield. Sometimes he can be a pain in the butt, but if you just like kick his shield, it will guard break him, and you can take him out that way. Here we're just going to raise our shield up and run past everybody to the door behind them, and let the dragon pretty much take out the rest of them. There'll be a few left behind that I'll have to finish, because there's that one that just won't stop swinging. They kind of deal some damage to me, so I'm just going to roll down and let them come at me one at a time. Now there are some items out there that are actual items. I'll be coming back to those later in the next episode, because I do want to take out that dragon to get the large titanite shard from him. But I really don't want to have to deal with taking burn damage the entire time while I'm out there and risking dying, because I don't really have a whole lot of health compared to like a knight at this point. So we'll come back to it. So I went up there and just unlocked the shortcut, and I'm going to take out this, which it looks like a chest, but it's actually a mimic. You can tell by the chain there, it actually points straight out or straight down towards you. That's how you can indicate whether it's a mimic or just a regular chest. Now for the mimic here, just kind of stay up close to it, and when it starts to attack, just roll. If you can, stay behind it, because it can't really hit you from behind. Do watch out though for its grab attack. That's basically where it swings both arms up like that, because that can kill you at this point if he does grab you. But for the most part, he's pretty simple. Just keep doing what I'm doing there, just strafing to the right. You can pretty much take out the majority of the enemies that way in this game. Here I got lucky with the fireball, because that kick would have really hurt if I would have missed that or didn't get it off in time. Luckily enough I did, and here I'm just going to look at the axe that he drops, and I'm actually going to switch to it because it does deal a little bit more damage, and I'm pretty sure that the Boreal Valley boss is also weak to, or is somewhat weak to dark, as well as fire, which will help. So here I'm just going to let this knight pass by, because there's two enemies, one to the left, one to the right, that I'm going to kill before taking on him. And there's also, I guess, one up by that item, which isn't that strong, but so we'll take out these guys. And then we're going to wait for the knight to kind of come up the stairs. Fortunately, my lock-on didn't really take effect, so you're going to see me really mess up a lot here with the fireball. And it's going to cost me a little bit of health, I think. Oh, maybe not. Alright, but yeah, after I tried to use fireball on him, I just said screw it, got behind him, and backstabbed him. So these guys are sort of easy to backstab. Just let them get into that 3-hit combo to where they do that little lunge attack at the very end, or thrust attack, and they'll have a somewhat longer recovery time, which will give you time to get behind them and backstab them. Now, down there, I was just making sure there was no items, not really thinking that there's all those enemies still down there that the dragon hasn't taken out. Luckily enough, they don't follow me up here to the bonfire. And before we light or go sit down, we're going to come over here and grab this Titanite shard. So now just rest at the bonfire, and we're going to head on down and I believe go get the key for Grey Rat's cell. So we're just going to make sure that guy leaves, because I don't want him to aggro on us here. And then we're just going to creep up and take this guy out. Now he will throw daggers at you if you don't watch out. Just come out here, plunge attack on that guy. Or if you need to, throw like a firebomb or a fire spell at the barrels there and they'll explode. And then just come and take this guy out. I was thinking about going down and just clearing out all the enemies near Grey Rat, but decided not to. So turn to the right here and grab this item, and then head on up. On the right here, just swing away because there's a guy hanging. And basically, any of those hanging guys, if you just hit them while they're still in the animation of coming up, they're just going to fall down to their death pretty much. So come get this, and then there's going to be another abomination creature. Just let him turn, and then we'll get the Titanite shard and another ember from him. So you can cheese this guy, just kind of have him come over here where I'm at and go back up the ladder, and then he can't really hit you from up there, and that's the easiest way to probably take him out if you're worried about taking damage from him. I got lucky there and also got a dark gem from him, which, I mean, I'm not really going to use it, but I don't hardly ever see that drop. So we'll come down here and we'll get this soul packet, I believe, and then there's a crystal lizard behind that window right there. So I try two-handing my weapon and locking on so that I can run jump at him, but the lock on takes off and then I miss with him. Luckily he gets stuck right here to where I can just hit him 2 times and kill him. Now that's where you normally get the raw gem for the playthrough, which I'll be using on my Astora Straight Sword once I get that, to upgrade it and make it into an OP weapon at the beginning of the game here. So I'm just going to take out these archers over here, and then I'm going to head actually that way to take out the knights and everything and grab the few items that are down that way. So just bait out his archery attack, or his arrow, and just throw a fireball at him. Here's another one that's climbing up, just hit him and he'll fall back down. So we're going to go this way and go into this little left corridor. There's 3 enemies in here, so do beware of that. Take out the archer and then immediately turn around because there's one coming up the stairs. Now in this room there's a guy that's trying to backstab you when you walk in, so just beware of that. You could generally backstab him. And right over there, there's sometimes a guy, but sometimes not. I was looking around to see if he was going to pop up, but it doesn't seem like he was going to be there. Now come down here and break the barrels. There's the 3rd enemy, and there's also an item in the pod. So now these knights here, with the large shield and the spear, they're the worst enemies probably in this area. But but where I'm a pyromancer, I kind of have it lucky because 2 fireballs to the shield basically causes them to guard break, and then you can kind of run up and knock them out. Just come over here, get another soul packet. As you can see, that we're collecting soul packets like crazy. So for later on in the game, when we're about to buy some other items, we'll have plenty of souls to buy from. Come in here, grab the broadsword. Broadsword's not too bad of a weapon. It's pretty much just like the straight sword, just a little less range. So we'll come over here and kill the 2 enemies, and then pick up the shield. I think it's the Eagle Crest shield, something like that, from the Eagle Kite shield from this chest. And if you can kind of see there, the chain is actually curved, indicating that it is an actual chest. So I will be switching to that shield here in a minute. Like when I was fighting these enemies here, I realized, oh damn, I didn't even switch to my other shield, because usually I just, let the shield take a hit and then just from there take them out. But here's me switching now, and that'll help out a lot. It means I won't take any damage from the people actually swinging at me when I'm blocking them. Now I'm coming down here to try and aggro one of these guys on me, because it's a little easier to get them to, or to fight them from here compared to where I normally fight them, which you'll see later, because I actually do forget to pick up some items here, and I'll be coming back to get them later on in this little video. Alright, so there's 2 more enemies left. There's dog, and here's the only bad part with the axes, is when you hit a dog, they go flying. So you can't just 2-shot them real quick and then go to the next enemy. You actually have to go follow them and then hit them again. So we're just going to take out this last enemy, and then we'll gather the 3 items in this room. So first one we're going to go do is get the cell key here for Grey Rat. He is one of the NPCs for the game that we'll need so that we can actually complete his quest line. Now there's the Estus shard there, and then there's also a Titanite shard under the stairs behind these boxes. Now here's me just kind of roaming around, being like, thinking, did I grab everything? Not realizing that I didn't go upstairs and grab the items that are above me. But here I'm just homeward bound back to the last bonfire. And from here I will be going basically back through the same area, just taking that path where the archers were, and then I'll realize at that point that I forgot to go get the sword, and I'll be heading back through that way, just running past the enemies to get those 2, or I think there's 2 items. There's a green blossom or something like that, I think, and then the sword in a chest. But I'll just run past the enemies and then try and create an avenue so that I can run out of there without having to deal with everyone. I'll actually show you a shortcut to get to the part to where we were, so you don't have to actually run back around. You can actually just jump off a ledge to get to where we are going to be going, or to get back to where we were going. I think I'd go and get Gray Rat here now. Yeah. So you'll just come down the stairs here and take out this guy. He has the same movesets as the other one. I think he has red eyes though. Maybe not. So, I mean, not too hard to beat. Just same thing as the last one. Just let him do that little swing. Have him try and recover. You get behind and just backstab him. Watch out for these barrels. They do explode to fire. And that guy right there does have fire bombs. So that was kind of the reason I just killed him from a range there. But even doing that's a little risky, because if you accidentally hit one of those barrels that explodes, then you're going to kill yourself. So here's Grey Rat. He is like a thief merchant that you'll send out to get new items for you, but he'll give you the blue tiered stone ring. And that's pretty much all you got to do to get him to go back. So now we're just going to head back up and run through the area, not really worrying about any of the enemies until we get to the newer section. So there is a gate right there. We can't actually go through it right now because it is locked. We'll be coming back to that later. It is where a dark knight is, and when you kill that dark knight, it will give you a red eyed orb, one that isn't cracked, so you can consistently use it over and over. So don't worry about the abomination guy up there, just run past him and go down the ladder or jump there. I jumped there so I can just throw a fireball at him real quick and then just jump down. Now I believe in New Game Plus or something that there's actually an item on the roof of that building to my left, which you just jump over to from the top of that other building we were on. But yeah, so we'll just go down here. I think I killed these two enemies, and then I realized that I forgot to get the sword and stuff, and then we'll just, I think we can just head back from here. I may kill the guy in the square first. Nope, there we go. That's me realizing it and debating with myself whether I should go kill him or not. So I just turn around and go get the item first. Luckily I was somewhat close to the items, so just gonna run through here and just skip past everyone. I do get kind of lucky here because that knight right there lunged at me and could have swore I was going to get hit by a spear, but luckily I didn't. So just come over here, get the item, and then jump down here and get the chest, which is the store straight sword. And that's pretty much going to be the item that we'll be using, I believe, through the next starting in the next area. So we're going to try and get these guys to run up the stairs there to create a path for us to jump down and not be attacked by multiple enemies. Alright, so we're just going to go that way and then come over this way and take out this one out here. For some reason he was giving me a little bit of trouble, but I was still able to take him out there. So what you do is you basically destroy the barrels or the boxes over there on the side, and then you can jump down. But do watch out, you can plunge attack this guy that's sitting in the corner here because he is one of the other enemies in this area that is still alive. And then we will take out this big guy that is just running around the fountain here. So this big guy's not too hard. He's really easy to backstab. And you do want to watch out. He does have some pretty decent range, and he does have a spinning attack that he'll spin like 6 or 7 times around. Now what I was trying to do there was trying to get him in that fire, because that fire will damage him, but he just wouldn't keep going. Oh, and there's him getting hurt by the fire, and me getting the backstab on him. Now he has two attacks that are pretty damaging. One is that spin attack, which you didn't really get to see there, but you'll probably see it later on with some other enemies, because there are some other ones of those later on in the game that do give you a lot of souls for killing them. And they will spam that little spin attack, but also the other attack is a miracle where they shoot up pillars of light at you, and that can really hurt too. So just beware of that. If he does start to do that, just go and backstab him real quick, and that will, I believe, take him out of that miracle spell. So we grab the 2 items there, and we're just going to head back up this way to unlock our shortcut. So when you kill him, 4 more will spawn out from behind there. Just going to kill those 2 real quick and then take these guys out. Now with this shield, it's pretty nice because people are just going to bounce right off of it, giving you an opportunity to attack them. So once we get up here, there'll be an item, I believe, behind us, which I think is some throwing daggers, throwing knives, and then just open this gate. I think I go through. I'm not really sure why. Oh, it's because I have no Estus. I'm gonna go rest at the bonfire up there. I wanted this guy to pass me first so that I can attack him. So I kill him, and I'm just gonna run past all these enemies here. And once I get up here, I believe the dog follows me, so all I gotta do is really just kill the dog, which is a lot harder to do than you think from him running around so much, and every time you hit him he gets pushed back like 10 feet. Okay, so we're just going to go back this way. We're first just going to kill this archer. It's not really required, I guess, because you're not going to be in this area for very long. Jump down and just head straight to the left there and jump on this little platform. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to either plunge attack him, or I'm just going to let him, just plunge attack him. Usually he'll aggro to you being up there, and you can just let him run up the stairs and then just run by him. So we're going to just go back down through our shortcut and take out the few knights that are left in our way. And from there, I'm also going to grab that item and get hit a few times by these stupid enemies. let's see. I think in this playthrough I actually summon an NPC to show you the difference between fighting these knights by yourself and then fighting them with a little bit of help from that NPC back there. He doesn't really help me until the last guy, which I take out 2 of these guys by myself, and then I think I fight the other 2 with him. And in the first one, he doesn't really do anything besides slam the ground. Alright, so I got those 2, and let's see. Yeah, here's me going back to summon this knight guy. He's actually pretty useful for these knights, because they'll aggro onto him to where you can get behind the knights and backstab them. But NPCs in the game don't really have the greatest AI system, so yeah, I just come over here, just going to fireball him to bring him over. This guy's actually one of the easier of the 4, because you can do that whole backstab. And as you can see, he's just slamming the ground. So we're going to pick up the item here, which is the Lucerne. It's similar to the Halberd. I don't know. I've never used it, to be honest, so I'm not sure how good it is. Then come up here. This dude actually has, he's one of the red-eyed ones, so he does have a lot more health, and his attacks do more damage. You could sometimes get the backstab on him, but I think where I had the NPC, he didn't allow me to sneak up on him. As you can see, he actually put a miracle, I believe, on his sword there to make it do more damage. But as you can see as well, that dude did aggro him so that I could get in and do the backstab on him. So I'm just going to go in here, talk to this lady. She'll help us progress the storyline by giving us a way to get down to the next area. And she'll also give us a seal to the Blue Sentinel Covenant, I believe. Now, for some reason, actually, the NPC can't come in through there because that is a boss battle area. Okay, yeah, this is me just sending him back because I don't want him for the boss battle, and there's only 3 enemies left and no items. So we're just going to come over to the right and take out the archer, and then we'll take out the 2 guys with the shield, and then I believe we just go in for the boss battle. So this boss is fairly easy. I think I was looking at my stats and saying how I was under leveled, I believe. That's what I was thinking, but this boss isn't that hard. You can throw fireballs at him, but best strategy is just get behind him and smack him between the legs there. And then once you deal him about, I think, a third to half his health, he will go on a rampage and basically charge at you 3 times before doing a breath attack. But to indicate that, I think he goes into a screaming little animation thing. Yeah, right here. So what he's going to do is he'll charge at you. You'll see his head duck down, and that's when you want to roll. So just roll once you see that head go down, and you'll get miss every time. Once he starts going into that charging of that breath attack, just get behind him and swing away, because it is so much free damage right there. And as you can see, I just took him out due to that breath attack. You do want to watch out as well, because if the battle progresses longer, he will rack up frost on you, and if that frost meter does reach the full amount, it will deal frostbite damage, which deals a portion of damage to your health, and it reduces the recovery time of your stamina. So now that we're done, I think we're just going to go back and level up our Store Straight Sword, and then try leveling up our stats. I think I even go yeah. I think it's just those 2 things that we're going to do.
Very well, then take.
So I was thinking about throwing it into an attunement, but in the next episode we're actually going to be dealing with another NPC that gives us 5 free levels. And what I'm going to do there is I'm actually going to level up my attunement and my intellect and faith with that to get them all 3 up to 15. So I'm not going to have to worry about wasting souls to level those up. So here I'm just going to him to infuse my Store Straight Sword, as well as increasing my Estus. And then once I'm done there, I'm going to actually level it up, I think 2 levels.
Pretty, be careful. I don't want
And I'm thinking that's it for this area, because I did, like I said, I am going to go back and deal with the dragon in the next episode, so that we can finish off all the items. And I'm also going to get, I believe, the red-eyed orb from that Dark Knight as well.
use them to pin what else are on.
Alright, so that looks like it's everything for this video. Just showing you my stats, make sure that if you're following along that you're keeping up with it. But now that I got that done, the next episode will be the Undead Settlement. So like the video and subscribe for more Dark Souls 3 content.